Susan saw a vision with PHS years ago to bring the child home, to give the family an opportunity to become a normal family, and to allow all of the support that that family would need in order to do that.
You know, PHS, I've told people, I'm like, you guys are the one company that, I mean, I've never had any problems with.
I've never had a worry. I've never been concerned about not having someone at the other end helping us coordinate what we needed. It's always been there.
If we didn't have this set up, we'd be in the hospital all the time, but she wouldn't be with us.
I was so happy because I can have everything from the same company, and I know that they would take care of Jovan and me.
We always know that they're there for us.
I just love them. They're part of my family now.
PHS rocks.
PHS rocks, yeah.
I had an idea. And I shouldn't say it's just my idea, because it certainly wasn't. There's a group of folks, most of whom are still here, that we decided, you know what? Let's look at the pediatric world. These are kids that are going to be just like you and me, but they got a little hump to go over. And once they get over that hump, they're fine. And our job is to participate and support that family in getting that baby over the hump. Our goal was to just ensure that children had the right to grow up in their homes, not in the hospitals. And it was revolutionary in the early 1990s. Believe me, late 80s, 1990s, this didn't happen. It was a very technically driven company that believed that there was one thing that was important, and that was we took care of the kid.
That's been our mantra from day one, take care of the child.
We started PHRS back in January of 1990. It was quite exciting to be starting a new company, especially when a lot of people didn't think we'd succeed. They thought, oh no, not in the time of all these large hospital-based national companies could some small mom and pop little company make a go of it.
We started with 6 people and a card table and chairs and a Selectric 2 typewriter.
I mean, if you needed something, you would basically put your phone down and cover it up and yell down the hall, and somebody would come running to help you out.
So when we started the company, obviously the first thing we wondered is, are we going to get many referrals? Are we going to get patients? What's going to happen? We got referrals right away. We, again, had worked in the field for a while. People knew us, and they knew we were starting our own company, and they were so excited to be able to go to a company that really focused on pediatrics.
We were at a building across the highway from us that when we moved in there, Susan said, we will never outgrow this place. There's no way we can outgrow this place. I'm thinking it was 2 years and we were out.
Now we have 300 and some employees, and we had this massive electronic computer system that's really, really cool.
I've been with Pediatric Home Service for 15 years. There's one thing that I think hasn't changed, and that truly is our culture. Doing the right thing for our children, for our families, for our customers.
Everything we do is based on taking care of the child. And if that means answering the phone with a smile on your face, to cleaning equipment when the child is done with it, with that focus, the business just naturally thrives.
My best memories here. I have to say our monthly staff meetings. I remember when I first started, just leaving one of my first staff meetings and just thinking, gosh, this is a different company and it's really cool.
Like I said, in the early days, just Susan running up and down the hallway and just screaming and yelling, you know, when we got a payment in or something. I mean, those type of things are things they burnt in your mind, you know.
We would do Beer 30 on Friday afternoons, and the people would bring in guitars and drums or whatever, and we'd have jam sessions and just kind of sit around and de-tank.
Favorite memory that really sticks out in my mind happened within our first month of business. We're in a small office, and had no office furniture, a card table, stuff like that. I had my infant son with me, and I had to put 2 chairs together to make a little bassinet for him while I'm doing work. So I'm driving home that evening going, kind of frustrated. I go, you know what? This is going to work. In my gut, this is going to work. And 20 some years later, here we are.
When we started PHRS, the patients that were in need of a lot of medical technology to care for them at home had many different providers. Okay, if it's a ventilator need, I'm going to call PHS, but if it's an infusion need, maybe I will call the ABC company, etc. We really looked at, as we expanded into infusion and then into nutrition and then into private duty nursing, how much more could we benefit these families if it was one number, one phone call, and then you would contact them and you could get whoever you needed.
The asthma program began in the mid-1990s when Medica called Susan, and they wanted to know if she would help them to develop an in-home asthma education program. So she said yes, and so we set out to develop an in-home asthma program. And the goal was to just sit down over the kitchen table and have the child and the family bring out all of their asthma medications and devices and make sure that they really understood what their physician wanted them to do. PHS has assisted physicians all over this community in taking care of the asthma child. So it all began with a simple request and a yes from Susan.
The ability to provide medications specifically formulated for a little one, an infant, a child, or an adolescent, and deliver it in the home made the infusion a perfect fit for pediatric home service. So we started really obviously with a couple of nurses and one pharmacist, and currently we have 4 pharmacists, 3 pharmacy technicians, 6 full-time nurses that do nothing but home infusion, and we do approximately 200 infusion-related nursing visits a month now. So that is now 2012. There was a gaping need to advise and counsel our families and the medical profession on nutrition services. So we work very closely with the feeding clinics affiliated with our children's hospitals to have the children evaluated, and then we support the recommendations by those occupational therapists and speech pathologists and therapists to enhance how we get our children to go and move from the IV nutrition through the enteral nutrition and then into introducing foods.
Susan just has always looked at it as like there's a need to keep families home and able to take care of their child, and if they're worried about if they can't pay their light bill or if they're worried about where they're going to get their next meal, then they're not going to probably be the best caregivers for the kids that we serve. So what can we do to help them navigate this life?
We saw a need for our families, a consistent theme, a need for resource access and knowledge about resources. We went into kind of a segment of mental health, which is play therapy. And children in play therapy are able to express their feelings that may be complex and very difficult to articulate. So play therapy is a real exciting part of our program that we're looking at in the future. Early on in PHS, we began offering community classes. We created some wonderful tools for our families to use to ensure that when they have a new nurse coming in the home, that this nurse has indeed been trained appropriately.
A lot of our referral sources, a lot of our families have asked us to do this for many years. And it finally kind of came down to a business decision of ours to go into the private duty nursing service. The thing that sets us apart from the different agencies out there is our commitment to our orientation to pediatric home service and our orientation into these individual kids that we're taking care of. Also making them feel competent and comfortable in these homes.
We always tell the family that we're never there to replace them. We're only there to assist them. They're still the parent. This is still their child. And we can do as little or as much as what they want us to do, and we always follow their direction for how they want it done for their child.
Pediatric Home Service, this is Lynda. How may I help you? Oh, you bet, sweetheart. Are you having an awesome day? Okay, blessings to you. I'm just going to transfer you, okay? Rich blessings, hon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
What's kept me here? I think that I actually tell all new employees this. So every time we hire an employee, they come in and have a half an hour little meeting, and I give them, you know, my spiel. And so after I find out about them and how they ended up arriving here, I'm able to tell them that, you know, it's a hard job and it's stressful at times, and it's you know, worrisome at times, and you just don't know how you're going to get it all done. But ultimately, for me, it's we get to do this attitude. Like, I get to have this job.
We have happy employees who are very proud to work for the company they work for, and who are excited and passionate, and they keep us all current and even kind of young.
I love my job. I love the vision of taking care of the child and making sure they're at home with their families, because that's where the kids belong.
This is a great place to work. It's, you get up in the morning and you're looking forward to coming to work. You know, not too many people can say they look forward to going to their job, but I really do look forward to coming here and making sure we, you know, no matter what you do, as long as we take care of the child, we're doing the right thing, and we know that.
It's a new experience every day. Every day there's something new. I come into work wondering what's new today. What am I going to learn today? What am I going to experience today? What influence am I going to have today on what's going to happen here? Just every day is something new.
It's not just a job, it's a lifestyle.
It's not just one person. It takes the whole team. And I think that's what's so great about PHS is we're a united front.
We're like family almost. Susan's legacy to Pediatric Home Service is the single-minded culture of ensuring that we understand and meet and exceed our customers' expectations day in, day out, minute in, minute out.
I feel like because of the job that Susan has done over the years, creating this company, she has given us a ton of opportunity to do what we do and impact a lot of people.
You see employees, no matter what their role is at PHS, really focusing on what does this child need? What can I do to help their lives be better?
Just Susan's passion for wanting to deliver exceptional service. Her passion inspired us really to do all that we could and exceed her expectation of taking care of the child.
Susan doesn't expect us all to be perfect, but she expects us to do the right thing by our families, and so I think that's really what the legacy is. You know, it's not always doing things that are the easiest or that will be the most profitable, or, you know, it's not about easy, it's about what's right.
Her legacy is that kid going to a Twins game, being able to get these patients out and doing things and being part of life. You know, giving families who 25 years ago would not have had a life, giving them the opportunity to experience the same thing you and I experience on a daily basis. Even if they only get to experience it for a few months, even if they only get to experience it once. That's her legacy. How she's developed the tools, the organization to allow this to happen.
She is going to be sadly missed around here. Susan is the number-one advocate for our families, and she always has been.
What's next for PHS? That's a great question. I think I think our options are unlimited at this point in time. I think what I want to be able to do is just to kind of settle in with the private duty nursing. We're constantly looking at the legislative issues that are going on at the Capitol, because that affects what we do. Also, just to make sure that we continue to provide that utmost high quality of care that PHS is known to deliver. I think it's unlimited, and I think that we can continue to do that and to make the overall continuity of care even better.
As I am preparing to leave and you are inaugurating a new era at Pediatric Home Service, I would like to thank you for all the things that you have done to make this a great company. Maybe you will remember that when I interview you or talk with you after your interviews, I remind you that I never hire anybody that is not above average. And I want you to know that's a perfect description of everyone who works here. You are above average.
Susan gave me an exceptional role to play here at PHRS and then PHS, and I did things outside of my comfort zone that she pushed me to do, and it was quite a ride, and thanks for the memories.
Susan, this has been a wonderful experience. I am so glad that you asked me to join you some 20-some years ago, and that I made the right decision and did follow you to PHS. It has been just a wild ride. It's been insanely busy. It has, we've had our ups and downs, but I love this company. I don't own this company, but I am so passionate about what you've established, what you've created at PHS, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it. And again, I love you, and thank you so much for asking me some 20 whatever years ago to join you, because it's been the best decision I've made in my whole career professionally. Thanks.
Susan, thank you for the opportunity, and I really appreciate the time and effort you put into my career, and congratulations on your retirement. I'm jealous, but my day will come.
I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss her presence in my daily life, and but I am very happy for her, and I wish her so much of the best, and I hope that she gets a chance to stop and smell the roses that she plants and does so beautifully with all of her garden. She says she has a date with her garden, and I know that because I'm lucky enough to be her friend, I'll be able to keep in touch with her privately, but I shall miss her presence in my daily life. Shalom, my friend.
Thank you for giving me the chance to do this. Thank you for having confidence in me.
I want to say to Susan, just thank you for being so brilliant and courageous, and giving me and everybody that we work with and the patients that we care for the opportunity. Because without her, I wouldn't have, just what I feel like is the best job in the world. I just wouldn't have it.
You have been my backbone. You have been my moral compass. You've done everything I've ever asked. May I please thank you so much for the time you have spent here, the commitment to the values we have here, and the way you produce quality. There's never been a better team. Thanks, and I'll miss you enormously.